You're in the travel space.
Yes.
What do you hope to see in the industry 25 years from now?
You know what? The first thing I want to be able to do is for everyone still to be traveling freely the way that we enjoy today. I really want us still to be connecting with everyone. I want us to be able to have our children traveling to all these amazing destinations that we've had this opportunity to do. And I want to see travel being that sort of two-way beneficial sort of exchange between both the communities that people are visiting and the people that are, the people that are visiting.
Hey there, and welcome to Impact After Hours, where changemakers sign off from work and log into life. I'm Camila Rente, CEO and co-founder of Human Group Media, and your host. Today, I'm excited to find out what Hazel McGuire, Chief Marketing Officer at Intrepid Travel, is really like off-duty. If there was a person who embodied rising from within, it would be Hazel. Her ambition and expertise have not gone unnoticed. And it's no surprise she climbed the ladder within Intrepid Travel to her current leadership role. Hazel has her eyes set on the future, working to grow the certified B Corp into a billion-dollar business by 2030. But our job here is to get to know who Hazel is when she's not connecting people through the joy of travel. Hazel, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. Delighted to be here.
Is it true that you just ran your first marathon?
It is true. It is. I ran my first marathon in London, which is my hometown now. Not originally, but now I live in London. And my sister was running her first marathon. I have a twin sister, and I said I would train with her and run a marathon on the same day. So I have to say it was a little bit abnormal in that my sister was running the official London Marathon, and I ran my own version of the marathon along the River Thames on my own to meet her at the end of the official London Marathon. So,
oh my gosh.
I ran my first marathon on my own to meet my sister at the end of the official London Marathon. So there you go.
I don't think I've ever heard of it done that way, especially, no. I didn't know that you had a twin sister. And also, so what was that experience like? Do you feel like that was good training for you to run the official marathon?
Do you know, I have entered the ballot for next year's official London Marathon. This is despite the fact that when I finished, I said, that is that. I'm never running another marathon again
yes.
in my life. And then 2 days later, I went, maybe I'll enter the ballot. So yeah, I got back involved. I'd actually love to do the official one. I think it would be very cool to go around and get that sort of energy from the crowd.
Yes.
It was quite a different experience. But I mean, yeah, it was a really nice experience to spend time with my sister over the last kind of 4 months, kind of running together and things and training as much as we could. I did some of my training when I was traveling for work on my own, but a lot of it with my sister. And it was just, it's rare to get big chunks of time where one or other of us don't have a child with us or, our husbands or friends. And so, yeah, it was actually a really nice experience.
You're in the travel space.
Yes.
I am very curious to know if we were to literally time travel to 2050, like what do you hope to see in the industry? So that's 25 years from now.
You did say you were going to challenge me with questions. So no, you know what? The first thing I want to be able to do is for everyone still to be traveling freely the way that we enjoy today. I really want us still to be connecting with everyone. I want us to be able to have our children traveling to all these amazing destinations that we've had this opportunity to do. And I want to see travel being that sort of two-way beneficial sort of exchange between both the communities that people are visiting and the people that are visiting. I think at the moment, if we look at over-tourism and things that are in the media just now, if we look at, obviously the challenge of climate change and everything that's coming there, I think, we have to step up and do something now in order to make change, to make travel, that long-term viable, wonderful option that it is today. But I also want to see more businesses stepping up and saying, how do we make our our business a positive impact on the communities that we're taking people to, rather than it just being a sort of, a monetary exchange or or something that feels like a burden to the communities as well. I think that's really important.
So if I wasn't in the travel industry, I'm not a travel expert. I just love to travel and go to different places and experience new things. What can I do?
Look at the companies that you're choosing to travel with. So, Intrepid is a B Corp company, for example. So that means that we have various reports, or we have an integrated report every year that we have on our website that's publicly available, that you can read about everything that we've done in terms of our impact across all of different pillars, environment, social, community. It's very open, it's very transparent. And then you, as a consumer, can then make the decision, is this the company that I want to spend my money with as well? Are they doing the right things on their end as well? So I think there's so many companies now who are making really great strides in this area and really finding ways to make tourism a force for good.
Yes.
And then if you're doing it yourself, if you're not necessarily going with an operator, if you're sort of, just making choices yourself, look for those local businesses. So stay with those boutique little local hotels owned by local families, have a look for local restaurants, make sure that you're buying local, gifts to bring back home that have been made by people locally that are getting a fair value for their work, and all of these things. So I think there's just a few kind of quite simple things that you can do, and it just means that there's a better exchange for that visit.
It just makes things special when you also craft, or you envision yourself in a community that you've never been to, right? You break bread with people, you learn more about their culture in such an immersive way. So we're all about that, and we're all about enjoying life, which leads us to an even more fun part of the show. And I want to start off with a lightning round of questions. Hazel, are you ready to play with me?
I am. Let's go.
I'll start off with, do you prefer to watch movies that make you cry, laugh, or think deeply?
Ooh. I love a bit of a weepy movie, I have to say. I do. I find it quite cathartic to have a cry at a movie. So yeah, I'm gonna go with a weepy movie.
What is a movie that you've that is the weepiest, or a movie that's your go-to when you want to have a good cry?
Oh my goodness. Do you know, I actually saw something that reminded me of a movie that I saw when I was young that was like the epitome of weepy, and I actually went back and watched it again. It's called My Girl.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever heard it. It had a very young Macaulay Culkin in it.
Of course.
And oh my goodness, when she finds out he's died from the bee sting, is there anything more heart-rending to watch? So yeah, that's just the absolute,
That is a traumatizing scene.
Yeah, I watched it at a sleepover for the very first time for my birthday. So that was a good birthday treat for everybody to end up in tears.
Oh my gosh.
Eating popcorn, looking quite traumatized by the whole thing.
Yeah, but with people you love. So,
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, finish this sentence for me. If I were to win an award for cooking an amazing dish, that dish would be blank.
I'm going to say roast lamb.
Yum.
But done in a kind of like roasted really slow for a really long time. And then done with sort of Middle Eastern, Turkish flavors, your kind of, your hummus and your sort of nice pomegranate seeds and your, and then some really fluffy pita.
Oh my gosh.
Then, that's where I'm going with that. And then a couple of really nice salads with some really like bitter leaves. And then, that's where I'd go as my, the meal.
Wow, that sounds like an award-winning dish. You picked the right one. What is your holy grail self-care item?
Elemis cleansing balm.
Let's just name the brand. Let's just
name a brand. Sorry, I can change that answer if we don't want to name a brand. But I love it. I absolutely love it. So Elemis, UK owned brand. So,
yes.
natural ingredients, B Corp company, but just this cleansing balm. I've never used anything as good. It's like the first step in the cleanse, and it just takes all the, all the city grime off your face, and it just feels beautiful.
So today is Thursday.
Yes.
I had to do a thing.
A quick check.
A quick check. In honor of Throwback Thursday, there's a Cartoon Network TV show called The Powerpuff Girls.
Oh.
Would you say you are more of a Blossom, Bubbles, or Buttercup?
Okay, can I say I think I might be a little bit too old because I'm not entirely sure if I've never watched it.
Blossom is a redhead. She's the logical, responsible leader of the group. Bubbles is the smart... the sweet and innocent one. She has yellow hair. Buttercup, her hair's black. She's the tough and assertive one. She's a little spicy. She's the spicy one in the group.
Can I be half and half, or like do I have to?
Sure.
I think I'm definitely not a Bubbles. Unfortunately, that's never really been. But I think I'm half and half the other two.
Yes. Same. I would give the same answer. That's the end of the lightning round, Hazel. You passed.
Apart from not knowing one of the questions, but hey, we're giving me a pass on that, hey?
Yeah. What makes a bad vacation? And tell us specific ways on how you might turn that around.
Do you know, I hate when you get somewhere and it's not kind of what you've expected it to be. So when you turn up somewhere and it's maybe been described in a certain way, or you've seen images, or you've spoken to somebody, and it just, I don't know, for some reason it's just not quite the way that you expected it to be. And I think, you can have that sort of slight sense of, a little bit of disappointment.
Yes.
I remember going to Italy on a holiday with my now husband and my sister and her now husband as well. And we'd just gone to this little town on the coast in Italy, and we just decided we'd have a bit of a beach day. And we went down to this beach we hadn't really looked into. We just sort of found the closest one. And there was this tiny little wooden sort of hut, I guess, right in the middle of the beach. I wonder what that is. So we kind of wandered over, and it was just this tiny little kitchen making focaccia and making pasta pesto. Wow. And that was it. Didn't do anything else. And just really sort of original focaccia, not like sort of any other flavors, just really, original.
The classic one.
Pasta pesto, homemade pasta, homemade pesto. And oh my goodness, have you ever tasted anything as amazing as that, sitting in the Italian sunshine on the beach? Little bubbly water beside you. Just honestly, just absolute perfection. But no idea it was there. Hadn't read about it on review sites or seen it on social media. I just ended up there by accident. And it was, it's one of the moments that I tell people about, even though I don't even think I could tell you what beach it was on or where it was. It's more just this memory that's sort of with me. And it's those things. So I think if something doesn't immediately grab you, or something's a little bit different from what you expected, just turn another corner. There'll be something else there that will just like be this amazing moment.
I think there are a lot of components that make like an awesome vacation. It's people you're with, right? It's
Absolutely.
The food you're trying for the first time, or, with that that lovely experience that you shared with us. So it shouldn't go to complete waste.
Exactly.
For sure.
There's always something to take something away from, or just enjoy the moment, as you say, with people, or
So that's the vacation part. Just like your average day, how do you refresh in the middle of a long day? Not at the end of a long day, in the middle of a long day.
When you're working through something and it's quite a meaty thing that you're doing, and you just almost, you're sort of going round in circles sometimes on it, and you kind of just need to step back from it just to get a clearer perspective on it. And I think for me, that's usually about getting some kind of movement, whether it be doing some exercise or, just going for a walk and just getting some fresh air. So it's usually that kind of gives me that sort of reset, or that pause, I think, during the day.
Okay. If you had to create a 3-ingredient recipe for the definition of a good life, what would those ingredients be? Long pause.
That is a long pause. Sorry. I think what is it? I mean, it's friends and family, isn't it? It's good health, it's friends and family. And it's enough to not have to worry, if that makes sense. I mean that in I guess I mean that in a financial sense to a degree, because there's a luxury in having enough. And I don't mean being massively wealthy. I just mean not having to worry about making sure that your basic needs are met, your bills are paid. You don't have that level of worry. And that's a huge privilege. Like, we're not all as lucky to have that. And I think if you've got that and you've got your friends and family and you've got your health, quite honestly, that for me is perfect. What you make of it then, sure, there's other elements to that. But I think those are the three elements that if you've got those, that is an amazingly, fortunate position to be in, and something that just makes life that much more enjoyable.
I think with all those three, it also brings other things into play, right? Like peace of mind.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like there's a sense of freedom because, you are not stuck worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Or in the next few days or in the next few weeks or months, right? And having good health, I think, is also not underestimated, but I guess like as we've grown older, at this stage in our lives, you're like, that is one thing that if something goes wrong, then it impacts a lot of the aspects of our life, our own life, right?
Yeah. Somebody said a phrase the other day which resonated with me, and it was, health is a crown the healthy wear, but only those without health can see. And I thought it was really interesting. It's like this real immense sort of like this picture of just, you're feeling healthy. You don't notice it, but you just have this, you have this crown, you have this, you've kind of made it, and you don't notice it, but you do notice it if suddenly you're dealing with chronic pain, or you're going through an illness, or you're, and suddenly you just see others with this amazing benefit that you probably didn't really value at the time. Sorry, I'm going a bit deep here, aren't I? But I thought it quite resonated with me when I heard it. So I was like, oh.
You said something so profound. I'm gonna do a 180 and share something that I also saw that is not profound, that connects to that.
Yes.
Because you know how, for example, you have allergies or you have a stuffy nose and you can't breathe, and then you're like, how come I didn't enjoy my life when my nose wasn't
when it wasn't blossom season?
Exactly. Right? So you went profound. I went the other way.
No, it's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing, just on a different scale, probably.
It's exactly the same thing.
I think it's exactly the same thing. You don't notice it until you've not got it.
Yeah, and then you go back to not caring, right? So got to think about these things.
Yeah, exactly. When it disappears.
So, okay, I'm worried about this question because you said you didn't, you haven't seen or didn't watch the Powerpuff Girls when it was on TV. Have you seen the movie Freaky Friday, or do you know about it?
It's something about switching with somebody, is it?
Yes,
but that's about that is about the all I know about it, to be perfect. Did it have Lindsay Lohan in it?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. See, there we go. I knew two things about it. So I haven't seen it, though, I have to admit.
So yes, Lindsay Lohan is the star of the movie, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Yes. They switched bodies.
Oh.
So I want to ask you, and let's just imagine that you and your son Finley switched bodies.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What are some fun things that you would do, and what is one thing you'd anticipate him doing?
Now, knowing Finn, he would just beeline to some kind of amazing food experience that he thinks I wouldn't be able, I wouldn't let him do. And he'd just be like, excellent. I now have complete autonomy to go and choose to eat cream cakes all day. And actually, I don't know if it'd be cream cakes all day, but he'd probably just try and do something that I wouldn't necessarily let him do.
I see.
What would I do if I went into his body? Oh. I would go and swim in the sea or something in February. He never feels the cold, which is amazing because I feel the cold constantly. I'm almost always cold. and he just never feels a cold. And there's something really amazing, I think, about being able to jump in the sea in February off the south coast of England when it is absolutely, you know, Baltic temperatures.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Maybe I'd do some of those, you know, where you just like bend straight down onto the floor, like with bent knees, as if you're doing a squat, but you go further and you just sit in that position for hours. I mean, I can't do that anymore. I just like, I get down to like squat position and then just like struggle to get back up. But the, just doing all those kind of like little maneuvers that 6-year-olds can do that 40-odd-year-olds cannot.
That's so smart. Like, take advantage of their agile bodies.
Absolutely.
And their stamina.
That would be a win.
We have come to the end, Hazel. I want to know, what is your go-to after hours media? What have you been watching, reading, or listening to lately?
Okay. So I just finished watching Paradise.
Paradise, yes.
Yeah.
A very popular one.
Is very good. I didn't expect it. I won't say any more because we don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Do not spoil it.
Yeah. It was one of those ones where I didn't know what to expect, and I loved it. And I don't always absolutely love things. So I've been watching that and listening to most recently something called comfort eating. You may have guessed when I spoke about the meal that I would cook. I quite like cooking and I really like food. But there's a podcast here in the UK from somebody called Grace Dent, who's from the north of England. And she is a journalist and a food critic, and she's been on the UK version of MasterChef.
Wow.
And she does a podcast called Comfort Eating, where she gets famous people to come on and talk about, amongst other things, the one sort of snack that they would have if they were in the house on their own, don't want to cook, what would they have? And it's fascinating and very funny.
Yeah.
And so, it's a very easy listening and very kind of chill. So that's what I've been listening to.
Is that one of the podcasts that you listen to while you're running, or?
No, actually, when I was running, I was listening to something called Acquired, because Acquired are about between 3 and 5 hours long per episode. And so they're very good for long runs. So I was listening to that actually when I was running, because it was the story of Starbucks.
Yes.
So they kind of delve into the start and like they go right through the kind of detailed history of businesses and how it was built and how it became successful and things like that. So it's quite fascinating. But so I was running to Acquired.
You were running to Acquired.
I was running to Acquired.
Well, this was so much fun, Hazel. Before we let you go and wrap things up, is there anything that you want to share with our listeners? Anything that's been coming up for you or for from Intrepid Travel? We'd love to share it with our listeners.
Oh, do you know, it's such an exciting time at the minute. We are just about to go into, we're just getting it ready for launch, kind of end of the summer kind of time, is our sort of new version of our Only Intrepid campaign, which is we really focus in on the moments that you get in our experiences worldwide that are really just so unique and so different and such, I guess probably to a degree what I was describing earlier, those kind of wow moments. So it's sort of like taking a peek behind the curtain and just sort of picking on moments rather than whole destinations. It's just thinking about those little moments that make those amazing experiences. And so this year, it's going to be bigger than ever. We're doing it globally. We're going to have it in Australia and North America and the UK and Europe. And it's just, we're doing this whole shoot at the minute, which is really like first person, really focusing in on that sort of really bringing the joy. And honestly, I'm so excited about it. I really can't wait for it to sort of be released into the wild. And I think it just really brings to life what we're about and what we do. And so I'm super excited about that and super excited to see it out and in the wild, as I say.
Well, we can't wait. And thank you for bringing the joy through your work at Intrepid Travel. Take us with you, Hazel. We need joy. We all need joy.
We all need joy in our lives. That is very true. That is very true. We should have said joy when we were saying the 3 things you need.
Yeah.
But then again, those 3 things can bring you joy. So there we go. That's the end output. A joyful life.
The list gets longer once you have those 3 things.
It does.
Thank you, Hazel, for joining us on Impact After Hours, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Take care.